grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
Oh, you gotta look at it.
Always do it on my
That
own,
is
so
interesting.
I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but yeah, I'm going to win. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one.
Dixie has finally caught a live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Brothers! What's up, Chris? What's up, Captain Blacklight? Proviron God. Explain why you named yourself that. That's a pretty interesting name, though. It's better than fucking Vitamin B God. Okay, a couple things to talk about. So first of all, yes, as you guys have noticed, I've changed my studio completely. It's in a different compartment of my house. It's just better. You know, sometimes you need to change things up. And I actually really souped this whole room up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screens. 6, actually. There's 6 fucking technology screens in this room. So it feels really cool. It's actually really awesome. So hope you guys can hear me well. If audio is good, don't say anything. If audio is bad, say something. If there's anything wrong with video, please say something. Otherwise, hope you guys are fucking great, man. Hope you had a great week. I hope that you guys took heed to some of the content that we put out, mainly the content regarding short strokes on dialing in TRT protocols. You know, I will have guys that come to me and I can tell right away that the reason they're not dialed in is because they change their protocol every 2 weeks, you know, because libido erections are hit or miss or whatever. People have to remember testosterone has pleiotropic effects that take, even on short-acting stuff, a couple weeks to normalize, meaning it affects neurology in a way which takes some time to normalize. Your body is constantly adjusting to the things that you do to it. And the best thing that you can do, aside from, of course, making sure all the compounds are right and in the right doses, is let your body get to homeostasis. So please pay attention to that. Wanted to quick discuss microdosing Proviron. Listen, you don't have to take 25 milligrams a day of the stuff. Hey, for some people, that's too much, crashes their estrogen, or gives them a lot of hair loss. You don't even have to take 12.5 milligrams a day of Proviron. People can get away with 6.25, which is 12.5 split in half. So you just effectively split it in fourths. You're still going to notice better pumps in the gym, right? Better sexual function, little bit of E control, modification of the ARs, little bit lowered SHBG. Again, you want to try to find with some of these compounds that can be pretty powerful or maybe excessively, whatever, lowering SHBG or lowering estradiol. You want to find a place where you can have your cake and eat it too. All right. So get the benefits of Proviron, but not have any of the drawbacks of Proviron. If you don't care about your hair, you know, run 25 milligrams a day, 50 milligrams a day, totally fine. You know, that's really the only drawback. Doesn't really affect lipids, not at all liver toxic. You know, lowering SHBG is almost always not a problem and just gives you more free testosterone, and that is good. So yes, you can microdose Proviron. It's actually pretty awesome. I want to talk quickly before we get into questions about penile muscle workouts. So seems a little silly, but I'm sure you guys have heard of Kegels, which is essentially where you're working pelvic floor muscles. You're effectively trying to execute the exercise of holding in urine, as if when you're peeing, like, you can stop the stream, right? What you do to stop the stream is you kind of work the pelvic floor muscles. Also, importantly, relative to erections, is the isocavernous muscle. The isocavernous muscle. Actually, the isocavernous muscle is responsible for keeping blood trapped in the penis. Besides the veno-occlusive function, it's the isocavernous muscle. And you can actually flex that. You can flex that muscle as if you're lifting weights. Like you're just working the muscle by basically mildly holding a pee, just like you're just holding urination. Very mildly, though. Too much. You don't want to get like the perineum involved, any of that stuff involved. You just want to get very minor kind of isocavernous muscle involved. And interestingly, so I never really fucked with any of that stuff or gave it any credence. I started doing it. I saw this very convincing YouTube channel, and as a YouTuber, I watch YouTube all the time. And some people I recognize they're completely full of shit, and other people I'm like, this guy knows what he's talking about, and I appreciate that. This was maybe a chiropractor, MD of some type, and just went through a couple of exercises regarding strengthening the isocavernous muscle. And I shit you not, within a half hour, so I did it for probably 10-15 minutes. Just kind of mildly holding a pee, holding it for 5 to 10 seconds and doing multiple iterations. I think I did 25 iterations of it with breaks in between. I got a forceful fucking erection. Now, I get spontaneous erections. They come throughout the day. I wouldn't say I'm a walking boner all the time. I get them at night. I get them in the morning and whatever. But this was a forceful erection that came out of fucking nowhere. Just absolutely nowhere. No psychogenic stuff, no touch-induced, nothing. So probably something to it, boys. Probably something to working the isocavernous muscle. Something to think about. All right, let's just get to questions, boys. Dar Fitness, thoughts on ketosis and fasting for autophagy? Look, I think they both work. All of this is, like ketosis and fasting, specifically 16-8 intermittent fasting. This stuff is useful in the short term to induce autophagy, right? Or maybe to give your gut a break. For people that have SIBO or people that have digestive disorders, usually facilitated by fucking motility problems, intestinal motility problems. Fasting, even for 8 hours, does wonders for their digestion, and they don't have reflux that night, as an example, or bloating or whatever it is. So I think these things are useful. Where people run into problems, which is always almost as you're suggesting here, and my caveat is that unfortunately around things like keto and carnivore and fasting, there also sits a dogmatic group of internet zealots. And these zealots continue to perpetuate that these kinds of diets are sustainable exclusively, so that you just do those diets and you don't eat carbs. You eat a little bit of vegetables or whatever. It's like 10, 20 grams a day. And in the end, if you're an athlete, and I don't mean, you're Saquon Barkley. I mean, you fucking run every other day or a couple times a week or do some cardio and you lift weights. You work your body out, you're eventually going to find on these diets that your fucking energy is shit. And if any basic understanding of cellular energy metabolism and cellular biology would make you understand that, fasting especially, obviously, but ketosis is actually cellular starvation. This is why you upregulate beta hydroxybutyrate. You convert fatty and amino acids into glucose via gluconeogenesis. You're turning them into what your body knows you need, but that's a stressful, taxing process, and you ultimately won't get enough of it. So I always have to give that caveat. Generally, though, ketosis and fasting are good in the short term for those sorts of things. Yeah, you're welcome. Brother, dream big. Why would pregnenolone be making me gain belly fat? Too much progesterone, whole foods diet, E2 in check, and T3 monotherapy. That's a hard one. You ought to measure your progesterone. I don't see it doing that. I don't know why it would do that, other than to build more DHEA and therefore build more estradiol. It's generally usually just estradiol. If you're actually fat in the stomach, like if you got a good degree of belly fat, aside from water retention, which estradiol drives via arginine vasopressin increases, it's ultimately your diet and your body fat. You know, the craziest thing is like if my diet's not in check and I'm on a long ester and I'm drinking and I'm, you know, not like I'm in excess of calories consistently, I will look bloated and try to blame it on the long ester. But then if I'm lean as fuck and very disciplined with my diet, et cetera, I don't look bloated, you know? So, so much of that also has to do with what you're doing. Proviron God tells us his name is Proviron God because Proviron turns us into gods. I love it. 25 milligrams a day. Huge proponent to Proviron. Yeah, absolutely. You help me motivate. I'm glad. Yeah, Proviron, again, it's not only helpful in all these ways relative to dick function and sexual function and muscle hardness, but it is also innocuous in that it's just one of the safest compounds to take alongside TRT. It's very fucking powerful. I love Proviron. I love it. At this moment, I'm running between 6.5 and 12.5 milligrams a couple times a week. I just like the way that it feels. Doesn't really change things one way or the other unless I got on a dedicated regimen with it. For those of you interested, I'm still running 3 pumps of cream a day. I switch between that and 40 milligrams of prop a day because it basically does the same thing. For me, all things considered, I mean, the energy profile on prop is a quicker onset and then a somewhat faster drop toward the latter end of the day, but I don't mind that. Whereas cream is a pretty quick onset and then it stays very stable. It drops, but to a slower degree. Proviron is epic. Mind sharing the video you mentioned? What's your video? The video regarding short strokes on dialing in TRT. It's our last video. So go to the channel and look at the basically the first video that shows up. All right, Travis, started taking Anavar. Good luck. Fucking awesome. Yeah, your pumps are going to be insane and you're going to grow. 10 milligrams daily. Great dose. Because I mean, you're minimizing the chance of side effects relative to your lipid profile and ApoB by doing this. So I think that's a great idea. So daily a week ago, along with my test, 150 milligrams a week. Feel tired and my muscles feel fatigued. Why would this be? That's a weird one. You know, you ought to look at liver enzymes and see if it's fucking with it at some capacity. Otherwise, Anavar does not interact with the aromatase enzyme in like Proviron and these other DHT derivatives do. So it's not lowering estradiol. Yeah, kidney liver stress would be, you know, the first thing that I would think of. At the same time, you know, there is this phenomenon of androgen induced, especially when you're used to lower doses and your body hasn't figured out how to deal with higher doses, which takes adjustment. Androgens inducing a fatigue of sort when they're in excess for your body at that time. Yeah, that happened to me very, very early on in TRT, and then it just went away. You know, weird shit will happen, and then if you push through it, it'll ultimately go away. Yeah, like I would get androgen-induced lethargy in the very beginning. When I started running my cycle, I had test flu, where I felt like I had the fucking flu, and then it went away. You know, I backed off a little bit, switched esters to prop, and then ran that for a little bit and went back to 500 a week of Anathate, and I felt fucking great. So those would be my guesses. Otherwise, look at Bloodsman and try to see if you can extract something from that. This is a question that I can't answer for you. Nope. I'd have to look into exactly, you know, why Abilify is causing this, and then, you know, postulate about mechanisms of action therein, and then also postulate about how to resolve it. Dream Big, have you ever seen oral minoxidil and oral finasteride raise prolactin levels? Yeah, prolactin levels tend to go up a tad bit, but that's really not the major problem. I think that I don't know if there's a direct mechanism of inhibition of DHT induced prolactin secretion. You know, I do know this, that DHT itself, as well as Proviron, inhibits estrogen-induced prolactin secretion. So considering that you siphon your testosterone to estradiol and not to DHT when you're taking both of these drugs, it would make sense that the elevated estradiol causes increases in prolactin. Yeah, not far-fetched at all. Farmer Rick with the $10 super chat from CA $10. I'm not sure what that means, but awesome. Appreciate that. Farmer Rick in the house, bro. Okay, morning, Ryan. On 2 injections a week. I'm very interested in trying once a week injection to see if it will drop E2. I'm not sure how to start the skip a week, then inject. No info on this. Well, there is. You just got to hunt through the testosterone subreddit and try to figure out what people are doing in this particular case. So if you're running Monday and Thursday injections, and then you just want to, go to the following week, what I would do is, skip your Thursday injection. If you run it on Monday, skip that second injection, and then the following Monday, inject your entire week's dose all at once. Now, this is going to peak estradiol higher than you're used to for 2-3 days, and then it's going to drop for the ensuing 5 days, which is good. This is why once a week, among some other reasons, helps people to get their libidos back, because you don't have steady state estradiol at the tissues. You get a drop and it starts dropping. The venous occlusive function of the penis starts to work better because estradiol heavily interferes with it. And then, estrogen relative to penile tissue can't act as an anti-androgen, which it does. So, that's what I would suggest you do, man. You take one injection on your next potential every 3.5 day injection, skip that. And then the following, what would be 7 days from that previous injection, just inject the whole thing at once. Now, I should clarify, and you should be aware that, probably there will be some side effect, right? It just, no matter what, when you increase the amount of testosterone you take at once, if your body isn't previously used to that and developed ways to deal with it, you'll probably get some degree of side effect, whether it's overstimulation or sleeplessness, mild sleeplessness or sleep issues for a couple nights or whatever. But push through that, because if you think it's going to benefit you, which it usually does for people, do it. Oh, sorry, I should have clarified the pelvic floor video. I will try to find that for you guys. I can't really find it now. What I would suggest you look for is pelvic floor exercises for erectile function on YouTube. And it is a brown-haired, middle-aged male I think he's in like sort of doctor scrubs, going through some Kegel exercises. But ultimately, to understand how to flex the isocavernous muscle, which helps you keep blood trapped in the penis. And I'm telling you, I did it for 25 minutes yesterday, and I had a forceful erection. It was some time later, 30, 40 minutes. I just fucking forceful erection out of nowhere. And though that happens to me, it doesn't happen at that level. So really something to think about, man. At the same time, though, for the isocavernous muscle, you want to Google isocavernous muscle erectile function Reddit and go fucking read those guys in hard flaccid who have figured out isolating this muscle. I mean, those guys are really responsible for even bringing that to my attention. So that'd be the path to go down. Brother Kyle. Hey, Cal. What's up, Cal? Was on 4 clicks of cream for only a couple weeks. Felt tired and lethargic all the time. Added 10 milligrams pregnenolone and feel awesome. Should I up my preg dose to 20? Yeah, if you feel great, don't change a thing. I don't know how that affected things, but it might have. There's all kinds of unknowns about TRT in these cases. Again, androgen-induced lethargy. If I have too high testosterone and too low estradiol, I'll feel a little fucking lethargic. Yeah. Like I had 4,000 total tests and 23 estradiol due to overshooting aromasin, trying to dial it in on cycle. And I felt like fucking shit, man. I felt terrible. And I had to wait for that aromasin to stop. I had to wait for the aromatase enzymes to get fucking, back in order. And then I felt great again. I felt great again. Make Ryan great again. Crypto Magic. Can't seem to find ultra sensitive estradiol being measured in the UK. It isn't, as far as I know. Am I able to work out the ultra sensitive measurement based on standard E2? No. The difference is that regular estradiol picks up other proteins. I believe they're inflammatory proteins, possibly even C-reactive fucking protein, and renders them as estradiol. It picks up other things and renders it as estradiol in the blood. So it's not accurate. It's accurate enough. If you can't get it, you just have to stick with that and understand symptoms, and then, decide what to do from there. Pharma Rick says Canada. I'm trying to figure out the connection here. Steve Wonderful. So Ryan, did I hear correctly that you are not running prop and cream together at the same time? Yeah, not at the same time now. I have in the past 70 and 3 daily. 70 of prop, 3 pumps of cream daily. There I was an absolute walking erection. I get spontaneous erections like more than any other TRT protocol. The only side effect I had was more acne. I just had acne at that point. And I was fucking ruthlessly anabolic. I fucking felt incredible. Didn't have any sleep problems. Estradiol had crept up to about 85, so I had to manage it at that point. But no, right now I run 3 pumps of cream a day, and then interchangeably. So like I'll run that for 7 days or 6 days or whatever, and then I'll run 40 milligrams of prop a day for 7 days. Those are just two protocols that I dial in for me within days. There might be a little fluctuation in erections in the first 1 to 2 days or something, and then everything's just good. So both of those are good. Interestingly, the bloods end up in, I wouldn't say radically, but pretty significantly different places, interestingly, but it still ends up in a good ratio of testosterone to DHT where I fucking feel good. The difference is that with prop, it's a faster acting dopaminergic onset. So you get that high energy, but not overstimmed feeling. I get that right away, dude, after injection in the morning. I'm running that this week, actually, 40 milligrams of prop a day. And that energy, high energy dopamine feeling lasts about 5, 6 p.m. It starts to taper, but I still feel fine. Go to the gym, kill it. I'm not tired after the gym. It's just enough test, 30 milligrams of test prop a day is not enough for me, interestingly. 40 is good. Whereas cream, you get the high energy peak and then it just kind of stays that way. Yeah, I feel like the same on cream throughout the day with a higher peak in the morning because cream leaves the system slower. It doesn't just drop off. Hope that's clarification for you, brethren. DNAV, good morning. Been running 60 milligrams of prop every day. High dose, but you never know. Still, libido and sexual function seems to be lacking. Currently adding 1,000 of CDG and 50 milligrams zinc. So this CDG and zinc is probably going to change that dynamic pretty heavily. Yeah. Yep. It's gonna. Estradiol, the thing that people have to understand is, this is why I don't make blanket statements. People that have had erectile function issues prior to TRT, maybe have a little fibrosis, little impaired endothelial function, potentially dysregulation of the pelvic floor or the isocavernous muscle. These people do worse with elevated estradiol. This is why some people can be at 65 and their dick works great and they don't have any otherwise issues. I can do that, but it starts messing with climaxes at 60, 65. In this case, listen, your estradiol is almost definitely 60 to 70. And if you aromatize like a madman, it could be 90, it could be 100. Could be 100, dude. I've seen 100 on 3 picograms per milliliter of estradiol on 50 of prop every other day. Now, that's a problem for that person. You shouldn't be aromatizing that much, so you've got to figure that out. At the end of the day, you need to look at your labs. You need to look at estradiol specifically, get the sensitive reading and figure out what the fuck's going on here. Yeah, because it's something. 50 milligrams of zinc and 1,000 of CDG is almost definitely going to at least bring it down transiently. It might not change the bloods all that much. But on a daily basis, those things will help. So probably you're going to get your sexual function back, on that. When I run 50 plus of prop, I'm usually running 25 milligrams of zinc a day until it kind of gives me a lower estrogen sort of side effect, in which case libido starts to taper down a tad and I notice it and then I back off of it for a couple days. It's kind of the way to do that, but check estradiol. Yeah, please do that. Ultimately dial in from there. Might be too high of a fucking dose for you, man. Green Bay and B vitamins help break down catecholamines meant to help prevent panic attacks. Yeah, one of them or two of them are responsible for breaking them down. At the same time, B6 will make you synthesize more dopamine. So they all work in synergy together. B5 is helps you synthesize more acetylcholine, which is fucking, useful. I actually have a nicotine patch, a 7 milligram nicotine patch. I don't know if you can see that. No, this is a 14 milligram nicotine patch. And I feel like I've taken a nootropic. I didn't take Torque today because I've got this thing on me. Fucking acetylcholine, bro. All right. Crypto Magic started taking tadalafil. Congrats, brother. Hope it's working. For 2 days, and then had really bad back pain. Stopped immediately. Other side effects likely to disappear. 100%. Lower leg pain, internal leg pain, weird like inside of your leg pain, as well as back pain goes away on tadalafil. 100%, bro. Stick with it. Take an Advil or whatever. Stick with it, man. Ali, I have TRT company test cream, but I don't feel shit from it even after scrubbing the shoulder. Should I try Trosh's any? Can't help you there, man. Can't help you, because what's your dose? What do your bloods look like? Do you have pre-existing fatigue? How long has it been? You gotta give more context. Dixie, thank you for the super chat. Friend, on 15 milligrams of prop every day, no aromatase inhibitor. Sure, for most people, they'll be able to take low doses of prop and not have to use an AI at all. I don't need it until basically after 40, 45, 50. I need estrogen control of prop a day. Testosterone, yes, look at that. Well, see, this is a guy that fucking hyper responds, dude, to prop. I mean, he's peaking at 2197. That's crazy. Estradiol's at 40. That's beautiful, but you might need to be at 27. SHPG 43, a little high. Free test 55. That doesn't look quite right. I guess even though it's that's nanograms per deciliter. That's okay. Prolactin 8.27. Perfect. Feel good, but tempted to up the dose. If you feel good, this is what I always say to people, man. If you feel great right now on this, don't change it. Don't change it. Now, unless you understand the consequences of changing a protocol, which is, again, testosterone has pleiotropic effects on neurology that the homeostasis after you change your protocol will take time to dial in. So if you're impatient, you're going to think the new protocol is fucked up or doesn't work, and maybe it will in 2 weeks, but you got to wait. You have to wait. So, recognize that things might be a little wacky or whatever. And ultimately, if you're at 39 and, you up the dose to 20, that estrogen's probably going to go to 45, possibly even 50. So be wary of that. Again, though, major point I would want to continue to emphasize for people is that if you feel good on a protocol, don't fucking change it, man. Don't change it. For me, regarding TRT, again, I switch between 3 pumps of cream a day and 40 milligrams of prop a day. I don't really see a need to change that. I have probably run 20 protocols. I dialed in most of them. Some of them were impossible to dial in because they were the wrong doses. And I can switch between them because I like doing that, because they all have their own characterizations. Like, again, prop is more of a dopaminergic hit. Cream is a good stable onset, and then it's just stable throughout the day, whatever. My libido is fucking crazy on 70 of cypionate every 4th day, but I don't particularly feel good on that. So there's just all different things. Like I can change to stuff that I know works. If you're not interested in fussing around with it after, you change it, don't do it. Don't do it. Especially if you feel good and erections are good and libido is good. Don't change it. Don't change it. Would be my advice. If you do, good luck. Good luck. Is this still considered the Thunder Channel? Oh yeah, I used to say that back in the day. Yeah, kind of not really. I mean, that was in the Nootropics era, basically. That's what I want to say. I got to make sure my battery on my phone is still charging. Okay, great. Awesome. Fucking epic, brother. Crypto Magic's been prescribed Aromacin by the clinic. They prescribe 6.25 twice a week, which you doses 24 hours after the last injection. It probably more like 15 hours. Yeah, it takes a little longer to work than Arimidex. And typically Arimidex, if you're doing infrequent injections, you want to dose 24 hours later. Right as that estrogen starting to peak. You want to get some estrogen from the injection to prevent crashing. But then you stop it on day 2, day 3, it's just in that good sweet spot. That works for people that, can respond positively to whatchamacallit, to that, to aromatase inhibitors. Now, how come I have 2 chats open? Am I going crazy here, boys? What? I have 2 chats open? Why? Just why? How come? What is this? Why? Wait, what? Well, I don't need that chat open, I don't think. Weird. I'm going crazy over here. Had a dementia moment. Chris Doherty was on prop 30 milligrams every day, switched to 60 every other day. Cool. PIP isn't bad, but glutes where I inject seem constantly numb. I've never had that happen. I've been injecting prop the last week. Are my glutes numb? I don't think so. I think they feel okay. That's a weird one. What's in the prop? Is it a bad UGL version of prop? Maybe that's just the way that your body's responding to it. That's a difficult one, brother. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, when I go to 70 every day, when I'm running 70 of prop every day and 3 pumps of cream, which again is like boner fuel, basically, the PIP lingers on, and when I sit down, I notice it. It's not terrible. I suck it up, but it's a lot of prop, it's a lot of prop is what it is though. But every other day gives you enough time for the tissue to heal inside, and you should be good. Dixie is saying libido and erections on, I believe 15 a prop are good. Exactly. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Exactly. Again, unless you want to venture out into the unknown, into the land of fuckery when you change your protocol and shit gets weird. And if you don't have the patience to deal with what might be variable effects in the first 2 weeks because your body's readjusting, then you're gonna be fucked. But and you might think, oh, change it. Then you go down the path of being one of those guys I just spoke about in my recent video who changes their protocol all the time and never gets dialed in because they want to micromanage it. So choice is yours, bro. But again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Dream Big got insomnia on TRT 2 years in because of low pregnenolone. I suppose that could happen. It's hard to exactly explain whether it's increased catecholamines and then your body adjusting to that, or a lower pregnenolone. I mean, pregnenolone has effects on GABA neurotransmission, so that's possibly the interplay there. Jared, thank you for the super chat. Big Jared in the house with a $10 super chat, boys. Fucking W in the chat. Boom. W. Okay, in the past couple months, I hit 20 nanograms per deciliter per milliliter, I think you mean, of prolactin on 2-step per test. When do I need to start considering running CAB? Currently running Shasandra P5P. If the P5P and Shasandra is not lowering your prolactin, you need to isolate what is increasing the prolactin. If estradiol is high, that is one potential cause for it. It's a definite cause, but it doesn't cause it in some people. They just don't, the lactotropes are less sensitive to estradiol, I guess. So that's one thing, but you've got to get to the bottom of why. If you're ingesting kratom, that's 100% why. If you smoke a lot of pot and or drink a lot of alcohol, that's 100% why. If you're taking any medications that are interfering with dopamine D2 receptors, whether they're drugs or supplements, that's also another 100% reason why prolactin would go up. And then lastly, a pituitary adenoma, prolactinoma. But if it's at 20, it's almost definitely not a prolactinoma. Yeah, you'd be at 240, and your dick would not work, despite having super physiologic levels of testosterone if you do. So yeah, at the point at which you would want to run cabergoline would be if Shasandra and P5P are not able to take it below 20. Yeah, that'd be the point at which 0.25 once a week, twice a week would be useful. I know a guy that was sitting around 13 or so, took 0.25, I believe, once a week, and it went down to sub 1. It's like point something, very low. CAB's a powerful fucking drug. Powerful drug. And yes, it can cause, mitral valve thickening, but you gotta take like 300 milligrams of that shit, which nobody does over time. Crypto Magic on 75 milligrams test E, 75 every 4th day. I think I've been starving of androgens for years due to mumps, working nights, and previous SSRI use. Well, potentially, yeah. Last total T was 20 nanomolars. SHBG was at 19. Up the dose. Depends on how you feel, man. It depends on how you feel and where you think you want to go here. The thing I think I can confidently say as a pattern over the years is people that have been androgen deprived need more androgens. Yeah, weird shit will happen. Like if somebody's androgen deprived for 5 to 7 years, call it, like they've been at 200 to 300 nanograms per deciliter, which is hypogonadal, no matter how you look at it. These guys will get on regular TRT doses of like 150 and they won't gain muscle, even though they're working out in the gym. Then they get on 250 or 275 and they're anabolic suddenly. How do you explain that, right? AI thinks, when you ask the various AI platforms, that androgen deprivation gets the body used to a lower level of androgens, and potentially you start downregulating androgen receptor gene expression or androgen receptor quantity or something. And so in order to upregulate all of that, well, androgens do that. So it's entirely possible that you need a long time on higher doses of androgens to resolve that. Yeah, so think about it. If you were deprived of them, androgens are almost always the answer. If you study the erectile function and androgen interplay literature, which I have been doing for years, and it's like kind of my job to do that because people generally come to me with sexual dysfunction issues, PFS especially. It's super clear at penile tissue in terms of fibrosis, endothelial downregulation, nitric oxide downregulation, that androgen deprivation causes major fucking problems in penile tissue. You know, we know it does that elsewhere as well. Dream big. If I have prolactin level at 20, how long for cabergoline once a week to get it down to 5? A week and a half, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Dude, CAB sits at the D2 receptor for 50 hours. Meaning prolactin is just not going to secrete. You know, maybe a little bit. And since when you urinate, you clear prolactin, like through glucuronidation, that prolactin is going to go down. It's going to go fucking significantly down, bro. Really, really down. So it's not going to take a long time for that prolactin to go down. Yeah, it's going to go down relatively quickly. Any other questions, guys? Trying to think of what's going on lately. I'm excited for April, even though it will be raining in April, but April will be just nicer weather. February, generally speaking, on the Northeast is the worst month of the winter, and March is hit or miss. However, January was a pretty fucking brutal month for us in Pittsburgh. So I'm excited to see what February brings. 2 months is nothing. Think about it. It was just Christmas. It's now February. Is it? It's February 1st. Okay. So February, I don't know if this is a leap year, but it'll be a pretty short month regardless. And then we're at March. You know, March is like you're on third base going home in terms of like how close we are to spring. You know, spring. Now here, we don't really get a spring. We get pretty nice weather and then it just shifts right into summer. So, but it's still nice from April onward with some showers in April as it does. And then basically May, it's summer. So I'm just really fucking excited for that season. I've had enough of winter. I'm over it, very over it, very over things being dead outside, whatever, you know? Yeah, I'm just fucking pumped to get out there. A couple days ago, if you guys search Ryan Michael Ballo on Facebook, I have a Facebook profile. And a couple days ago, I did an ice run in Pittsburgh. So I ran over all the major bridges crossing the north side to the south side, and the rivers were fucking frozen. And you can see them on my video. It's actually crazy. So I did this big run. It was 25 degrees or something. So it was relatively cold, and it was fun. It was fucking awesome, bro. But I'll be able to do that every day or every other day in the spring and not have to, you know, wear a face mask. I had an actual legit face mask because I was freezing. I have more upgrades to my setup here coming. I've got a Shure MV7 Plus for those of you podcasters. That'll be here tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to that. Do I have a new boom arm? I forget. I might just be using this boom arm. And I'm trying to think of what other upgrades that I might do to this podcast room. We'll see. Some more wall art. This wall art here is Xbox and PS4 and PS5 controllers. Fucking love it. Just gaming. I've been focusing a lot on, listen, BO6 Warzone is a terrible game. We all know that. The best, COD game to come out in the last 6 years was Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone 1. Since then, it gets worse. Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone 3 was pretty good enough. BO6 sucks, but I still play it. I think we should all fucking boycott COD, honestly. I really do. Okay, MJ, quick question, Ryan. Any thoughts on daily injections in the evening? I train in the morning, sometimes a little fatigued after injection. Why are you fatigued after injection? That's a weird one. That shouldn't be happening. You should feel, when I inject, when I'm doing 40 milligrams of prop this week, probably switch back to cream next week and then intermittently just keep doing that. Yeah, dude, within 20, 30 minutes, like as I'm going to get coffee and run errands in the morning at 6 a.m., I'm like, hello, hello, the lights have turned on. Fucking love it, bro. But running injections at night is not a problem. I do not see a problem with doing that. You're probably going to find, based on the pharmacokinetics of testosterone propionate, if you're running prop, I don't know what you're running here, but especially prop, if you inject at night, your nocturnals will be stronger. They should be, assuming everything else is good. But I don't see a problem with that at all. I've injected at night before. Strongest oral. Strongest for what? You know, I mean, Proviron is profoundly powerful for hardening the muscles, getting you leaner than you should fucking be, getting you vascular as fuck, lowering E2 a little bit, optimizing binding domains on the AR, making for better use of your androgens, increasing free testosterone. Very fucking strong for that. Anavar, on the other hand, increases your free testosterone to a degree, but it acts so powerfully at muscle tissue that you become stronger and get better pumps in 2 days after starting to take it. Keep pushing the content, bro. Channel's going to be huge. Yeah, I think in the last year, I seem to have just beaten the algorithmic inhibition of this channel. We had been banned 5 or 6 times. Banned off the internet. I had to fight to get the channel back. And when that happens, you kind of get shit canned in the algorithm. All your videos are gone. Right. So, and I also think for various reasons, we were somewhat shadowed for a while. That era is coming to an end. I think YouTube is one of the last platforms to still be on that other end of somewhat censorship, etc. So we'll see. But we're fighting to beat it as best as we can. But bottom line about testosterone, especially TRT, is more guys are on it. More men need guidance on it because their clinics aren't doing them any justice. And so I'm glad to be out here talking about this stuff. If there's something I master, some people are educators, man. I love talking about it. It's just what I like to do. For selfish reasons and for reasons of helping people. Michael Facey Sharp. Cool name, bro. On 30 milligrams daily of prop, 12.5 Proviron. Great fucking protocol, by the way. Feeling very wired. Is 30 milligrams too much? Is there a settling phase? No, it all depends on you. Again, if you scroll up or rewind a little bit, there's a guy that gets to 2,000 total tests on 15 of prop a day. You know, that I won't get there. I'll get to about 1,000, maybe 1,200. On 40 of prop, I'm at 1,500 or so. Of total tests is really about the peak. And, you know, so people are going to be different. If you might be peaking at 2,500, dude. In which case, when this happens, yeah, you're going to feel that way if your body isn't used to 2,500. You know, that's basically the bottom line. At the same time, you're increasing your free testosterone substantially by having Proviron in your regimen. Yeah. So because Proviron is in there inhibiting SHBG, your free test is just going up. I bet if you measured it at this point, it'd be at like 500, 600 picograms per milliliter, which, you know, could be overstimulating again if you're not used to it. Those of us that have run cycles before, you go through a phase of overstim and some, you know, some side effects, usually just overstimulation or test flu, and then they go away. Your body adjusts. So I'd be looking at your bloods and trying to see where they are and see if that makes sense for you. Importantly, aside from this, look at how you feel. If erections and libido are good, stick with it. It will go away. Otherwise, start dosing some theanine, and that might help. L-theanine by 300 milligrams at a time. Titrate your dose accordingly. Dixie, how much water do you drink personally a day? Not a whole lot. Yeah, the whole 8 glasses of 8 ounces of water is a myth. It depends on your body and your physiology. You know, if you're one of those people that is drinking, you drink a lot of like sodas or otherwise fucking non-water drinks per day, and it's causing you to urinate more, maybe you need more. You know, if you have a higher sodium intake, a little more water is usually necessary. Your body's going to prompt you to get more water. Every time I eat a big pizza, which I'll do every now and then, a whole pizza, I I then want to drink a lot of water because I've got too much sodium in the body and my body's going, hey, let's drink some water. But right when I wake up, the moment I get dressed and start my car because it's winter, I go and drink a big 8-ounce glass of water. It's actually like a beer mug. It's a big beer mug of water, and I drink the whole thing, and it just makes me feel remarkable right away, right? Because, I wake up, big long piss. Sometimes I'll wake up at 2 in the morning, big long piss. So I'm losing water there right in the morning. There's that. And then I go based on how I feel. Like, after this podcast, I will likely go downstairs and drink a big glass of water, right? Just how I feel, Then I'll notice that I might not be thirsty. If I'm thirsty, I'll drink it. If I'm not thirsty, I don't drink it. I think that's where people have to be. You can drink excessive amounts of fucking water. All it's going to do is mess up your electrolytes, and that's not good. For the sake of 8-ounce glasses, 8-ounce glasses a day, it just doesn't, nothing is a blanket statement or suggestion. Carolus. Hey, brother, just on your source list, is it good for Australia? Yeah, there's international vendors for every vendor except one. Yeah, I think one is strictly the United States. And then everybody else, has international arms to their organizations. So, yeah, for sure. I would say arguably the best vendor on there just upgraded their entire fucking lineup of stuff to include way more products than they used to include. So those of you that have access to Sourceless, it's the AP. So go check out AP's new fucking inventory. It's insane. Very beautiful. Ever played Insurgency Sandstorm? No, I never tried that. If it's good, I would love a COD killer. I'd love a Call of Duty killer, something that goes and kills Call of Duty because, the developers have been either incompetent or stupid in, the last many years, aside from Modern Warfare 3 and, of course, Modern Warfare 2019. There's so many bugs and they fail to fix those bugs. Games like Valorant and Fortnite, they just don't have the problems that Call of Duty has. And, it's like, you fucked us too long, meaning the audience, the players. We'd all switch to something if there was a better game than COD. It's just COD's a good game. Even though it sucks in so many ways, it's actually still better than a lot of other games. But if a new COD killer came out, we'd flock to it. I'd play it happily boycott Call of Duty. Activision, idiots. Treyarch, idiots. They made a bad game with BO6. Sledgehammer, competent studio. Justin, how much calcium glucarate do you typically take? It all depends. I'm taking none right now. I don't need it. When I run it, 500 to 1,000 milligrams. Yeah. Epigenin's not going to lower your estrogen. No. These compounds that are mild aromatase inhibitors, they're not going to move the needle. Couple points. That's not major. Okay, Nosy Blacklight, is there a point where too much tadalafil has the opposite effects? No, there is no point at which it's going to start not inhibiting, like making PDE5 clear blood from the penis too fast or something. No, I don't think so. Reducing camp expression. I don't think there's a mechanism for that. No. If you went higher, I think that the point, your blood pressure would probably just lower a little bit, if you went higher, you might put a little strain on your heart because your blood pressure is low and your heart's got to compensate for that. So I really wouldn't push that unless you absolutely have to. And if you need more than 20 milligrams to tadalafil, you have an erection problem, which is either hormone mediated or penile blood flow mediated. And while you try to fix that, which you probably should just call a company called Olympia Pharmaceuticals and get a prescription for Trimix in the meantime, and just inject 15 to 25 units of Trimix before sex, and then fix your dick problems for sure. Who knows if that's really the case, but I think you might have had PFS if I remember correctly. So something to think about. Dream big. If someone's DHEA dose is 100 milligrams, is pregnenolone relatively close to that dose? No. Say within 25 of each circumstance for pregnenolone at 100. I don't really see a circumstance in which people need that much pregnenolone. Yeah, 10 to 30 milligrams a day. Keep in mind, preg's going to make more DHEA. It's going to make more estradiol, more DHT as well, which is good. So, you got to dial in accordingly. But I have never suggested anyone run 100 milligrams pregnenolone. Yeah. Hector, for someone with low ICPG of 13, would you recommend 25 Proviron to lower estrogen a little bit? I think that it would take your SHBG probably down to 10 or 11 or so, maybe 9. I don't think that would be consequential. Negatively consequential, probably be beneficial for free tests. But in that case, you probably want to run 12 and a half of Proviron a day. Yeah, that's what I would do if I were you. Take it down just a little bit of inhibition of the aromatase enzyme and then go from there. Testosterone itself will peak at I want to say 3 to 5 on cream. DHT's peak lags a bit to about hour 6 or so, and then it kind of stays pretty steady 6 through 9 or 10, maybe 11 hours, and then it starts to slowly come down. Yeah, DHT Nortest on cream drops significantly quickly, but they do just drop like this as you get into the latter end of the 24-hour period, basically. Jordan G Unit with the $10 super chat. W in the chat, boys. W for fucking Jordan G Unit. Thanks for that, bro. Awaiting test prop order. Okay. Test sip keeps me strong in the gym and strong libido. Great. But hoping prop will boost my energy, focus, and sense of well-being. Do you feel a difference between the esters? I 100% feel that difference between the esters. I mean, look, I got to run high doses of long esters in order to feel that real good, stable energy from testosterone. And that always comes with the necessity for estrogen management. Okay. So I don't love that. I don't like long esters at all. For cycles, sure. That makes sense to me. NF8 exclusively is where I'm going to be next cycle, which will probably be about 6 months from now. By the way, on fucking 3 pumps of cream and interchangeably 40 a prop, I haven't lost a shred of strength and a shred of mass. I'm leaner, less water weight, but my shoulders are still nice and full, and I still am very fucking strong. So if you keep your diet right and your strength training right, you keep gains from cycles. That's why people do them. That's why people do them. You know, look at me 2 years ago. I was significantly fucking smaller. Anyway, if you want to go and venture out into dialing in on prop for the sake of increased energy, do it. But just recognize, it's a whole different process. Dialing in will take some time. Have patience with it. Give it 2-3 weeks, even on a short acting ester, to see ultimately where you end up, and then decide if you want to change it from there. But yeah, certainly. Yeah. Interestingly, with long-acting esters, sub-Q gave me more stable energy because it was just stable. It wasn't the best for sexual function, keep in mind, but sub-Q was just very good, stable energy. Otherwise, yeah, prop and cream are untouchable in terms of that energy. Untouchable. Man, I feel like a fucking god on that stuff all the time. I'll be 41 in 2 months, man. Other 41-year-olds are like, creaking around. They look like shit. They're like, man. Getting old. Shut up. Get your fucking hormones straight, dummy. Yeah. So, just be okay with what's probably going to be a dialing in process if you switch. But the energy profile will be significantly better. Zayed, what nootropics are good for studying? You're really looking at aniracetam, oxiracetam. Those are fucking phenomenal. Pramiracetam, if you can tolerate it. Some people have side effects on that drug, so those would be the options. Alternatively, low-dose modafinil with aracetam is highly effective. I wrote books on this stuff because I experimented with it all, and people were paying me $5,000 to work with them for 5 months on dialing in nootropic stacks for them. So I got so much experience in this. Modafinil low dose, 50, 70 milligrams, somewhere in that range, with between 500 and 700 milligrams of either aniracetam or oxiracetam. Mild dose of choline, 40 to 50 milligrams of acetylcholine or alpha GPC. Very fucking powerful. Very fucking powerful. Almost universally applied to people that it works well. G. Hopkins started TRT a couple months ago to 105 a week. Test E, sub Q, daily. Total T in the 800s. Estradiol 22, prolactin 9. Ongoing tender, pre-existing gyno. Any advice? Well, I mean, the estradiol is it's pretty good, man. That's pretty fucking good. Yeah, that's a great spot to be in. Now, relative to your gyno, you probably want to look into maybe low dose Masteron, block the estrogen receptors, or, you know, other estrogen receptor blockers, you know, the stuff that they use for breast cancer, like tamoxifen, would be my uneducated suggestion. I'm not a specialist in gyno. Thanks. You're welcome. Halo, I haven't played it in probably 15 years, 10 years. So I don't know if that's a good question, Trey. Shit, should I try Halo? Damn it. Maybe I should try Halo, bro. I haven't played it in at least a decade, but maybe I would like it. I'm just so tired of COD being subpar. Dylan, switching from Test C 60 milligrams every 5 days. Yeah. Every 5 days to 2 clicks of cream in the morning. Blood prior to switching was total T 700, free T 80 to 17, SHBG 83. What? Oh. Your SHBG is 83. That's way too high, dude. Way too high, man. That's why your fucking free T's so low. God damn, your free T's low. That's why. Get that SHBG down with the use of Proviron, please. Yeah, please do that. You know, or testosterone propionate. Cream will do it to an extent, but prop is going to lower it more. That's going to be better for you for free testosterone. So if you can tolerate 60 milligrams every 5th day and you don't have energy problems, then 2 clicks of cream in the morning is going to be fine. Going to be just fine. But do monitor that SHBG, man. If you're having sexual issues or otherwise issues, put that SHBG at 83. You got to get it down to 40 at least. Proviron would be good to do that. But considering 60 milligrams every 5th day, you tolerate that and you don't have energy issues, then 2 clicks of cream is going to be powerful, going to be pretty strong. I couldn't run 60 of test every 5th day test C. By day 2.5, I would feel hypogonadal. You know, my body clears testosterone pretty quickly. So, premature ejaculation. I mean, in the literature, the thing correlated with that is hyperthyroidism. So might be something to look at. But supplements work. It's much more advanced than that. Yeah, I think you have to understand the etiology of it and try to get to the bottom of that. Can low estrogen create ED? Fuck yeah. Yes, it can, boys. Yes, it absolutely can. Yeah, low estrogen, when I've crashed it, or if I had 4,000 tests and 20 estradiol, which I have before, yeah, my penis was effective for urinating, and that's about it, man. Not only did I have ED when estrogen is too low, or if I took an AI and took it too low with still pretty high test, but all interest in sex goes away. You know, all interest in sex goes away when estrogen's too low. So yeah, you know, this is why drugs we use to lower them, you know, you got to be really meticulous about them, which is also why I've done videos on Liquidex, which is taking Arimidex and crushing it and putting it in a dropper bottle with a little bit of alcohol or distilled water, and then getting like 0.03 milligrams per 2 drops or something. You know, really got to be careful with estrogen. Nosy Blacklight, how often do you get clients to get blood work when they're struggling to dial in libido and sexual function? We're usually running fast acting stuff at that point, and we're doing that at week 3.5 usually. Trying to get an idea of how much money I need on standby if I eventually become a client. Yeah, every 3.5 weeks. If you use discounted labs, estradiol sensitive, testosterone, LCMS, yeah, well, they're between $35 and $40 a piece. So, you know, you're looking at that every 3 weeks for those. But depending on the situation, we won't want to run DHT that much, but we might run our own prolactin and some other hormones as well. Why is Proviron the only steroid recommended for PFS? Because PFS people need high loads of free testosterone for a long sustained period of time. In addition to penile rehab, usually if the organ is very atrophied, but that's why. And a Proviron will induce that. There's speculation that there's modification of the androgen receptors in this case. I don't know if that's the case. There's no way of knowing. But Proviron will increase the function of the binding domains, the 3 binding domains on the AR, which is useful. That's one of the reasons. Also, considering they siphon test to estradiol more than DHT because, you know, finasteride fucked with that whole system, a daily use of something that's a mild AI is also useful. That's why. Those are why. How to combat low estrogen as a natural? I'd say just take HCG. Take HCG. Yeah. Take HCG. Now, is that natural? No. But there's not a whole lot else you can do about this. Maybe take some black cohosh. I mean, that's what women use to increase it. Take some oral DHEA. That will increase it probably. That would be the choices there. Zachary, is it better to just take DHEA pregnenolone and no HCG sometimes? Some people can get away with it. Some people can't. Some people can get away with it. Some people can't. Again, some people can get away with not taking HCG and some people can't. In my experience, more people have to take HCG because they'll just have dick problems if they get atrophy testicles long enough. And some people, for whatever fucking reason, don't need to take it. Don't need to take it, and they're fine. They're fine. Yeah. But, for me personally, I take DHEA and pregnenolone. At this point, they're low doses correlating to my protocol, but I still need HCG. Yeah. For, pretty close to perfect sexual function. That I just need a little bit of it, 125 IU a day and I'm good. Justin, thanks for the videos. You're welcome. You're welcome, brother. Switch from daily injections to 2 big injections every 4th day. And oh my God, what a turnaround. Really appreciate the help. Fucking awesome. Yeah, case in point, boys. It doesn't work for everybody, right? But if you're doing dailies on long esters and you're having issues, you switch to more at a time and you let your body get used to that. Your dick's going to work better. Your libido is going to be great. Every 4th day for long esters is such a perfect frequency. It's such a perfect frequency. Okay. It's not just about the half-life. 7 days for Cypionate. How do you know? Have you measured it? It's not like your body adheres to the pharmacokinetic studies. I can't clear this testosterone because the study said I shouldn't. Your body will do whatever the fuck it wants. You could be clearing that testosterone at day 3. A lot of people do with long esters. So I'm glad this works for you, brother. Music to my ears, and I'm fucking happy for you, man. Thanks for watching. Zachary, thanks for the super chat, bro. How long does HCG cost on source list? Can't give you prices here because that'd probably be breaking YouTube rules, so you'll have to look. Cheap. Cheaper than you'll ever find it. Is nepharacetam any better than any of the other racetams? No, it's worse. It causes kidney damage in canines. DNAV, do you think high estrogen could affect the performance of Trimix? Yes, definitely. Trimix is intrapenile vasodilator, so it's going to, it effectively works to bypass most mechanisms of pretty severe ED, especially at the 30 unit dose range, or higher concentration of the papaverine and some of the other compounds in it. But very high estrogen can fuck with that. And if the erections are okay, good enough for sex, the high estrogen is going to mess with your climaxes usually. It's not just about erectile quality. High estrogen messes with your ability to climax. Does mine. Best test for hair loss? Probably Cypionate. Yeah. Less peaks of DHT, free testosterone. Is taking 2 pills of a B complex too much? Depends on you. For me, it would be a little too much. I'd feel just on edge, like I drank too many Red Bulls. Which, by the way, Red Bulls are life. I love Red Bulls, man. I have one about 10 a.m. every day. Well, it's like 3/4 of a Red Bull. Fucking love it. That's an innocuous compound right there, or innocuous drink, if you will. Awesome. Good luck. Cream or prop, better for overweight dudes? That's a good question. I would say cream because prop's going to aromatize a little more. It'll drop down quicker, but cream is a little more stable, more DHT, a little antagonism of estradiol, a little bit. They're still going to fucking go high on estrogen if your cream dose is too high, or even if it's right for you. So pay attention for that. But also, that might not be apply to you. It's all about how your body is aromatizing and responding to these drugs. They're both pretty comparable. I'd say start with cream and then experiment with prop if you feel like you need to because estrogen's too high. Then you can't figure that out. Novonex and Proviron for PSSD would not be an intelligent strategy. No, it's much more complicated than that. Nosy Blacklight, $35 to $40 for E2 in the lab. In New York, I am discounted $200 every time. Yeah. That's why Discounted Labs is called Discounted Labs. I don't know if they're in New York yet, though. They're in PA and everywhere else. They might be in New York. They probably are. Who knows? But yeah, I don't pay a lot for estradiol sensitive. It's $40 or something. Crypto Magic's been prescribed cream. Would it take it right away or wait a while till the testy is out of the system? Just change. That testy is going to be out sooner than you think. It's not staying in there for 6 weeks. You might have trace elements of it in the blood at week 5, but it's not affecting you majorly. Yep. Yeah, I went from cycle to 3 pumps of cream and my test was back at 900 in like 2 weeks, dude. Seriously. Jared, I'm down on a 30 a test prop. Awesome. Hope you stay there. And 30 milligrams mass injected daily. Hey, that's an interesting protocol. But pinning both prop esters is starting to suck. Yeah, I understand. I understand, bro. I understand. Do I have a recommendation for implementing the MAST? No. Inject slower. That's about all you can do. Ride the lightning. Hey, bro. Lift pack. I'm on testosterone gel, 20%. And the DHT gel, 20%. Oh, then you probably got that from alpha gels, yeah? They are the only ones that have high potency DHT gel. With 250 IU/HCG 3 times a week, 25 Proviron every day. Are they that sounds like an alpha gels protocol. Like they suggest that. Assuming that my free test is high enough, how long do you think recovery would take? I assume that's PFS because I know that they prescribe basically that protocol for PFS. It's a pretty okay protocol. Unclear. PFS is tricky, bro. That's the thing. PFS is tricky. It could take you 6 months. It could take you 2 years. The mission should be getting on the right track. Androgen deprivation causes penile fibrosis and downregulated endothelial function, isocavernous muscle problems, pelvic floor dysfunction, probably, atrophied penis. So, in order to recover that, you need high levels of free testosterone, among other things, for a long enough time. Yeah. I mean, it's like, even if it took you a short amount of time to get those, to start having those problems are significant enough to where long periods of time with the right stuff will get you better. So it's unclear. I can have significant improvement on a guy with PFS that's had it for 4 years in 2 months. And then a different guy takes him 6 months to get significant improvement. Once the protocol of androgens is right, the improvement is immediate. How long that takes long term depends on their compliance and willingness to do things like, pelvic floor exercises, penis pumping for the right duration, the right amount of time. In some cases, things like the Phoenix to break up fibrosis. It's a penile shockwave device, so it's all variable. SC has access to Vyvanse. How do I use it? I can't tell you how to use Vyvanse. You kidding me? Chris Bazzoni. Hey, would you buy the over-the-counter insulin at Walmart, and would you try it for workouts? Me personally, no, I definitely would not. Yeah, I figured that. Lift back. That fits exactly that profile here. Smash the likes, brothers. Started HGH therapy for TRT, and it was catastrophic. Double carpal tunnel syndrome because pinched nerve in my neck. Interesting. Yeah, that's another thing that me personally, dude, I just 4 months of half a gram of test a week, and I gained a lot of muscle mass and a lot of strength, bro. If you watch bodybuilders talk about this sort of shit, Chase Irons as an example, he'll be like, my best physique was on just test. Just test. You get as big as you fucking want on test, man. Ride the lightning. Thanks for the super chat, bro. W's in the chat, boys. W's in the chat for Ride the Lightning. I was on 250 test D over 10K nanograms per deciliter. What? 30 Ultra E2. This doesn't make sense to me. Your estrogen was at 30, but you were at 10,000 nanograms per deciliter of total testosterone on 250 of test D. Switched to 150 of E and 100 of prop a week. Any comment on this? No, I don't know what you're asking. That's, if you have an actual question here, ask it, but I don't know what you're asking here. How are you at 10,000 nanograms per deciliter on 250 a week? That must be wrong. And 30 ultra sensitive E2? You're taking a lot of AI? Little gyno itch, small bites of anastrozole. Gyno itch. I wouldn't worry about itching of the nipples. It will go away. If you start feeling a lump, then you have reason for concern. Yeah. Air Dolphin, does Proviron come in sealed packages? I ordered some and it came in a non-labeled bottle with a napkin in the bottle instead of cotton balls. I threw them out if it was too sketchy. Where the fuck did you order that from? Get the source list, please. And do not, order from anywhere else but source list. Proviron, should come in. It depends on the source. Yeah. There is a source in the source list where you're getting pharmaceutical Misteralone. Legit Proviron. It will come literally in the Misteralone box. It's Proviron. Other people, they're getting raws and they're making capsules of it. That's how it should come. That's how it should come. A napkin? Yeah, that's very, very sketchy. I mean, it still might actually be Proviron, and for somehow they have a packaging problem, the company or whatever. But yeah, that wouldn't be something that I would mess with. All right, boys, I'm going to end the stream. Oh, it was from the sourceless PPL. Yeah, I've not gotten Proviron from them. Yeah, I've not gotten Proviron from them. So my advice to you would be AP or Hunter for Proviron. But this might have been a matter of it being opened up in customs or something. Yeah, PPL should not be doing that. But that's good to note if they're sending Proviron. I've not gotten Proviron from them, but I've gotten tadalafil from them. It came in a labeled bag. I'm not sure about that, man. They've never done that before. All right, boys, I got a jet. I just got a couple texts 10 minutes ago that I've got to tend to. So hope you guys have a great day. Hope you have a great Saturday. Spring is coming. 2 months, boys. 2 months. We can handle it. We can hang. God. Content coming this week. Okay. Hope you guys appreciated the new studio. I'm still continuing to build it out. I got a new, better quality mic coming, so I'm really excited about that. That'll be for Monday's content, so look forward to that. Again, sourcelesslivecortex.com. Everything you can think of to your doorstep in rapid fashion, including DHT itself, high potency DHT gel, Proviron, obviously. One of the vendors just got a complete upgrade to all of their inventory, so they have more stuff. Every peptide you can think of for way cheaper. HCG, way cheaper. If you need to circumvent your clinic, get the source list. Trying to think if there's anything else. No, that's it. I'll see you guys Monday for content. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and rock on.